Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Whitfield. I'm the independent candidate running for United States Senate here in Arkansas. We are going to do our weekly update and a quick Q&A. So we'll give it just a couple of minutes for people to get online. And I'll go ahead and get this shared as well on Twitter and all that good stuff. But we had a very exciting week, so I have a lot of updates for everyone. It's going to be a pretty good Q&A and update, I think, tonight. So we'll give it just another 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, we have a couple people filing in. And yeah, sorry, I had to do something different with my hairstyle. I've got quarantine hair right now. It got a little bit too long to spike and do my normal front stuff I do there. Let's see here. Answer this question here. So throughout the update, if you have any questions, feel free to enter them into the comments. Just ask a question at the very end, and throughout I will go ahead and I'll answer all the questions that people have. Alright, got it shared on Twitter. Go ahead and just get it shared here as well. Alright. Cool. So we had a really exciting week. I'll start over real quick for y'all. My name's Dan Whitfield. I'm the independent running for United States Senate here in Arkansas. And we had a very exciting week. We actually turned in our signatures on Friday, May 1st at about 9 a.m. I think maybe a little bit closer to 9:30 a.m. It was really cool. It was really amazing. I actually live streamed the entire thing. And fortunately, we actually got to go in. I had got to ask some questions that I had. We had originally been told that we would have a lady meet us out at the door and take the signatures from us. We would not be permitted inside the building, but they did let us in, which was really cool. So I was able to live stream the whole event and all of that. You can go back and watch that video. I think it's only like 15 minutes long. You can hear all my questions and hear their answers to them. And yeah, so that was really cool. The Secretary of State's, their staff in there, they did tell us that they will accept letter-sized signatures, but of course, again, they will not be upheld if brought before a court of law. So that's why I haven't been adding them into our count at all. So our count with legal-size signatures on legal-size sheets is, I believe it was like 6,000, was it 644 or something like that? I think it was 6,044. And when we added the letter size signatures into it, that brought us up to 6,514. So we got about 65% of the signatures we needed, even though we lost about 60% of our collection time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we did really good. We exceeded all my expectations. Y'all, thank you so much for your support and your help. Without so many volunteers and people, I know it takes a lot of effort to go out and find a legal size sheet of paper, print it, sign it, go out to the post office, mail it, all of that while we're supposed to be quarantining and social distancing. So thank you all so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. Right now, we've actually filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of State, John Thurston, a complaint in asking for signature reduction. So we're looking for some kind of relief from the Secretary of State's office because when Governor Asa Hutchinson issued their executive order to declare a state emergency, it actually enacted social distancing policies which hampered our signature collection efforts. So due to the executive orders put in place by the governor, it hurt our efforts, and that's one of the reasons that we are suing for a reduction in signatures or for ballot access altogether. So I do have a couple of things I did want to talk about. Let's see. So I'm sure you all saw the news article the other day from, I think it was Arkansas Times or the Democratic Gazette or both, where Attorney General Leslie Rutledge had commented on our lawsuit. Let me pull up her quote real quick. Just because I have some interesting information that I think people should know about when they start reading what she has to say about this. Let's see here. And the Democratic Gazette is not going to let me look at the article unless I give them money. So let me try Arkansas Times. Here we go. All right. So, it's still not going to let me do it from there. Oh, well. And I have it on my Facebook, so I'll look it up from here real quick. I just want to read this quote to y'all because I found it very interesting for her to take such a public stance on this despite the background information behind it. Let's see. All right, here we go. So, Attorney General Leslie Rutledge said her spokesman, Amanda Priest, Attorney General Rutledge will not tolerate the plaintiff's attempt in this lawsuit to take advantage of a national crisis to simply circumvent Arkansas's reasonable laws, which she will defend to protect the integrity of the upcoming election. So basically, she's saying that we are only suing to take advantage of the COVID-19 worldwide pandemic, national emergency, and state emergency, that it shouldn't have any effect on our signature collection. So basically, she's saying she does not care about Arkansans' lives. She doesn't care about social distancing. She doesn't care about a fair electoral process. She is absolutely wrong in this manner. Arkansas's reasonable laws. Awesome. So she wants to protect the integrity of the upcoming election. What I found very interesting about her position on this is the fact that she has taken money from Tom Cotton.
She doesn't have integrity.
She has no integrity. She has taken money from my opponent. You know who else has taken money from my opponent? Secretary of State John Thurston. You know who else has taken money from my opponent? I'm trying to find right now if Asa Hutchinson had taken money from Tom Cotton during his re-election campaign as well. So this is the kind of corruption that we're fighting, just open, blatant corruption. We have these political figures that are taking sides in what's supposed to be a nonpartisan issue of protecting the constitutional rights of an American, and it's crazy. I just can't believe it's actually happening. But that's okay. We'll let them have their corruption. We'll let them show their true colors before their elections come up. And when it comes to the point when we're looking at a ballot and we see these people's names against another person, we need to make sure we remember who they care about and who they're protecting. Because they're not protecting us. They're protecting their own financial interests. So enough about that. I'm really not worried about her statement. I'm very confident in our lawsuit right now. The precedent is there. We actually, the state of Illinois has just reduced the independent and libertarian third-party candidates' signature requirement amount by 90%. So the libertarians and the independents in Illinois only need 10% of the original signature amount, plus they extended the deadline. And I mean, that's just huge. And I believe they actually allowed online petitioning as well. So they did all these different things, and that was brought before a circuit court up in Illinois. So I'm fairly confident we can use precedent from cases like that to support our own case. So we will have ballot access. We got this. It's just going through the process right now. I should have more information for y'all on Monday as to where we are with our preliminary injunction. I believe we have a meeting with the Secretary of State that is going to be before May 5th. So by May 5th on Cinco de Mayo, I should be able to let y'all know what's going on. Let's see here. But that's pretty much where I am right now. We got 6,514 signatures. That's, you all are so awesome. That's like 65% of what we needed. And despite the COVID-19 pandemic, his signatures kept coming in. I've got more signatures. I think like 70 more signatures just from when I got home on Friday evening after going to the Capitol to turn in my signatures. We actually went to Ron Coleman's crystal mine and crystal mining. I got home and I checked my P.O. box because the mail doesn't get delivered until 10:30 a.m. and we had to leave about 5 a.m. And I had, another 50 plus signatures that day. So signatures, I'm sure they're going to keep coming in. I do keep getting messages asking if the deadline's already come, if they can sign, if they need to turn their sheets in. So if you do have signature sheets, just get them turned in to me. They aren't going to count, but we can still use them for our case. And, it's still great to be able to show what kind of support that we got throughout this entire process. So thank you guys so much, and get them turned in if you still have them. But that's pretty much it. Are there any questions? Let's see. Oh, hey, Annie. So I have Newton County is in the house. I got Donna. Explain your stand on Biden. Does that mean you support Trump? I do not support Donald Trump. Donald Trump has done very few good things for this country, and I do not support Donald Trump. It's very simple, and I'm public about that, and I don't mind answering. Let's see here. While I'm finishing up, this is actually very short. We're only about 15 minutes or so in. Were there any other questions? I wanted to make sure to get as many Q&A things going as possible.
You can have my phone.
Oh, I have all the comments right here. Thank you, though. So that's where we're at right now. I can go back real quick and kind of briefly go over my updates. On Friday, May 1st, about 9:30 a.m., I live streamed the event where I went into the state capitol. I turned in all my signatures. Our signature count for legal size sheets was, I believe, 6,044 or something like that. And when we got to the Secretary of State's office, I made sure to ask them if I can turn in my letter size sheets. They told me that's fine. I can turn in my letter size sheets. They will accept them. But again, they will not be counted if brought before a judge in a court of law. So 6,000 is what we're at officially. And because the letter size sheets, we were actually able to turn in 6,514. So we got about 65% of what we needed, which was really awesome. And thank you all so much for your help. The next thing I wanted to go over is we are in a lawsuit. I am suing the Secretary of State. Gary Foltz is a plaintiff with me. We are suing to reduce the amount of signatures required for ballot access due to the COVID-19 epidemic because it basically halted our signature collection. When Asa Hutchinson introduced his executive order declaring a state emergency and putting social distancing policies forward where you couldn't have gatherings of more than 10 people, that really hurt our signature collection efforts. So we are asking for relief and a reduction in the amount of signatures required for ballot access. We have got Judge Baker, and she's very rehearsed in electoral law. So I'm really confident, at least we have a very knowledgeable judge. She was the same judge who ruled last year that the Libertarians could reduce their signature amount from 27,000 down to 10,000. So I'm really confident in our case. We have a great case, and we will have ballot access. So we're just playing that out right now, seeing where it goes, and I'll let you all know as soon as I know what's happening with our lawsuit so we can keep everyone up to date. I did also want to let you all know that where we're at right now as far as what we're doing for the campaign, I am working on getting masks right now. I'm going to order 100 masks, and the masks, they're going to be reusable, washable. They'll have my logo on the front. So if you go out shopping or whatever kind of things you need to do out in public, you can wear one of my masks and help represent our campaign to get our name out there a little bit. And I'll be selling these masks at cost. So I'm not trying to make any money off of it or anything like that. I will sell them to you at our cost just to help get our name out there a little bit. Once we have these 100 masks, our next fundraising that we're going to be focusing for is for signs. We need to get our yard signs. Now, I believe back in February, from February 10th to February 24th, I'll have to check my notes and look back, I told every single person that in increments of 10, for every $10 donated, you're going to get a yard sign. And of course, I'm going to honor that. So as soon as we get enough money raised after the masks for the yard signs, we'll get our yard signs ordered. I'll go back and check my FEC filings, and I'll see everyone who donated in increments of 10 yard signs. So if you donated $50 between February 10th and I think it was February 24th, then you'll get 5 yard signs. So that'll be our next step, and then after we get yard signs, we might do some more masks depending on how many people need the masks, because I know there's a high demand because we have to make sure we're keeping ourselves and our families safe during the pandemic. So that's kind of where we're at with our fundraising, where we need to be. And, y'all are so awesome again. Thank you so much for your support and your signatures. Did you have a question?
No, I mind of the coffee on Tuesday, I think, and Wednesday.
Is it Tuesday?
No.
I am going to be doing a coffee Zoom meeting. So what I'll do is I'm going to start a Zoom meeting, and I'm going to make the information public for y'all. I'll share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And y'all can just hop on my Zoom, and you can join on in. And if you want to be on video, that's cool. If not, it's all right. And you can ask me questions. We can do a Q&A like that. I'm trying to be a little bit more interactive instead of just me staring at my phone, talking into a microphone and answering your questions this way. That way we can get somewhat of a FaceTime with the social distancing we have in place. So check my events. There is an event created for that, and it's going to be a morning coffee. And another thing that we have been started to do was every Wednesday, hey Jeannie, we are doing a trivia night every Wednesday to try to, lighten the mood and get away from the whole COVID-19 thing we're facing. So last Wednesday we did family. I believe our first Wednesday trivia, we did politics, and then we did Arkansas facts, and then we did family night. And then this upcoming Wednesday is going to be universe. So I'm a huge space buff. I love the universe. I love studying the different aspects of the Milky Way galaxy in particular. And I want to bring some of my universe knowledge into a trivia night so we can all learn together and have some fun. So come on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I'll be live streaming our universe topic trivia night. Did I have any other questions in here? I would love to answer any that anyone has. Let's see here. No questions. Oh yeah, so here again one more time. Here's the quote from Attorney General Leslie Rutledge's spokeswoman, Amanda Priest. Attorney General Rutledge will not tolerate the plaintiff's attempt in this lawsuit to take advantage of a national crisis to simply circumvent Arkansas's reasonable laws, which she will defend to protect the integrity of the upcoming election. She said this after she's taken money from my opponent. So I thought that was pretty funny. Let's see here. Hey, Susie. Oh, I'm going to have to meet you for another beer one of these nights. Once we get all this social distancing behind us and start to break the curve. So as far as COVID-19 is concerned, we are about to start opening everything back up. I think it's very irresponsible of us right now. We've gotten to the point where just a couple months ago, we had 2 deaths. Just 1 month ago, we had 5,000 deaths, and now we're up to 60,000 people. I mean, the rate at which people are dying is just exponentially growing so fast. At this same rate, we could have, more than 100,000 people dead in the next couple of weeks. I think it's a little early to open the country back up, but that is what we are going to start doing. So make sure as we start to open things up prematurely that you are wearing your mask when you're in public. As soon as I keep a bottle of hand sanitizer in my car, if we go grocery shopping or something, as soon as we get to the car, we're using hand sanitizer. As soon as we get home, we're washing our hands. Things you don't think about is when you do buy groceries, so say you get a box of cereal at Walmart or something, when you bring that box of cereal home, we have a designated spot in our kitchen where we bring all of our groceries, and then we clean them with sanitizing wipes or alcohol and paper, not paper, but paper towels. So make sure you're sanitizing things when you bring them into your house. Just stay safe. As much as they want you to believe that the worst is behind us, the facts are it's just getting worse, and we're not ready, and they are going to be opening things prematurely, so keep your family safe. Annie had a question. My question has no answer. I fear, how do we get the corruption out of our government? Oh man, I disagree. There is an answer. And I think the first step in getting corruption out of the government is to end Citizens United, corporations are not people. And if corporations are people, they should be able to face criminal charges for taking advantage of Americans the same way people do. And we need to end congressional lobbying 100% all the way. There's some other things we can do, like requiring legislators to liquidate their stock portfolios and banning legislators from purchasing stocks or options. We need to make sure we get money out of government. And if we can get money out of our legislators' pockets, we can take away their financial incentive to basically sell what's best for us to a corporation. We've got this problem where billionaires are purchasing our legislators and in exchange getting huge favors. They're getting tax breaks that help billionaires. They're getting tax increases that hurt us. Oh my gosh, just look at the CARES Act. It is disgusting. It is disgusting the way that our government handled the CARES Act. So we allowed giant corporations, like multi-million-dollar corporations, to take tens of millions of dollars in relief, while now we have all these small businesses who are getting the shaft. They're applying for these loans. They're not able to get these loans. So now we have small businesses losing money, going out of business, while giant corporations are taking billions and billions and billions of dollars and giving their CEOs fat bonuses, paying off past interest debt, and still laying off their employees. It's disgusting. How do we get the corruption out of our government? We remove the financial interest. We have to get money out of politics. That's the only way we're going to do that. And if we can't get money out of politics, then there's just always going to be corruption. So let's see here. The same way you eat an elephant, pun intended, one bite at a time. Absolutely. And we are moving in the right direction. So just in 2018, 91% of candidates that had more campaign finances won elections. So 91% of the time, if you had some billionaire donor giving you more money than your opponent was able to take legitimately from the working class, they would win 91% of the time. Today, that is different. Now we're down to 86% of the time. Woohoo! So, I mean, it's still really corrupt and really terrible, but at least we're moving in the right direction. So 86% of the time right now that a candidate has more money, they will get elected. That is changing our elections from the voice of the people to the voice of corporations, and that's something we need to fix. Let's see here. But the politicians are not going to allow that. That is true. They do not want to allow that. And that's why we're going to have to build public pressure. That's really the only way. When we can get millions of people to mobilize, to take to the streets, to perform mass civil disobedience, that's how we're going to change the way that our legislative branch is corrupt right now. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to be challenging, but we have to not give up. We have to do whatever it takes, and we have to take our government back and return it to the people. I mean, our government's supposed to be by the people, for the people, but right now it's just by corporations, for corporations, and we've got to fix that. And whenever they do, feel the slightest threat, they change the rules. There are a lot of rules that we do need to start changing. We need to start adding transparency to how our government is working. So if there's a legislative session going on and nothing classified is being discussed, that legislative session should be live streamed for every single public, like everyone in the public to watch. I should be able to see, my representative is in Congress right now. They're in session. I want to go to this website and click the live stream video and watch and hear what they are saying while I'm paying them my tax dollars. Let's see. Any other questions in here? All right. So I don't have many more questions. It's kind of a short update. All the updates have been really short these last couple weeks because... Oh, I'll answer your question in just one second, Michael. And here, let's see, Margaret. I'll start at the top here. Have you discovered if the state of Arkansas is allowed to contribute to a campaign? If it is taxpayers' dollars, then I would think it is wrong. I don't want to get my taxes paying for Tom Cotton to get reelected. Absolutely. So real quick, just so you know, an incumbent candidate in the state of Arkansas does receive $1 million tax dollars in free mail out advertising. So Tom Cotton will get $1 million from us for mail outs, just so you know. And that's an average thing that happens all the time.
Is it written somewhere?
Yeah, it's the law.
Okay.
So I understand what you're saying. When you look at Tom Cotton's contributors, there it does say in their state of Arkansas, but it's really odd. So before I made that post talking about the corruption and things like that, I made it a very public post. I tagged Leslie Rutledge and Tom Cotton to see, that I understand what's going on. And shortly after that, when you go to opensecrets.org and you go into their contribution list and look who their contributors are, if you click on the state of Arkansas, it says file not found. Sorry, the page you requested could not be found. So they deleted that link for whatever reason. And actually now I'm clicking more and I'm getting file not found on everything. Goldman Sachs, nope, it's just saying Goldman Sachs gave him $105,000 this year, but it won't go into it. If I click Walmart, nope, file not found. I see Walmart gave him $14,000 this year. Let's see, Lockheed Martin gave him $50,000 this year, file not found. So for some reason, I can't see the links of who the contributors actually are right now, the PACs. It's kind of odd. You were able to see them before I made that post. Let me try searching for a different candidate. Let's try... who's a Democrat?
Pryor.
Let's see, Mark Pryor. So if I go to Mark Pryor, politician, candidate, 2014, do contributors. Here we go, Entergy Corp. Well, that's really interesting. When I click on Entergy Corp, it actually pulls up Entergy Corp, contributions, lobbying. It doesn't say file not found. Huh. Let's try Tyson Foods. Oh, look at that. Oh, hey, by the way, fun fact, Mark Pryor was taking money from Simmons, Tyson Foods, Entergy. Oh, here's the state of Arkansas. For Mark Pryor, what does that come from? All right. So the organization itself did not donate. Rather, the money came from the organization's individual members, employees, or owners of those individuals' immediate family members. Okay, so when it says state of Arkansas, as far as what this is saying right here, I can do totals, committees. They do have different committees: agricultural committee, appropriations, budget, all these different resources, science. So when you look at the donations and it says he's taken $15,000 from the state of Arkansas, that means that he's taken money. Wow, he even took money. He got $10,000 from family members of political members, family members of political party members is what it comes down to. Wow, Josh Mahoney, see, he even got $4,500 from this year. Man, Elizabeth Warren got money. Amy Klobuchar, Joyce Elliott, French Hill, and then the parties. Okay, so that's what that means. Let me go back to this question. Hey Dan, how's getting you on the ticket going? So right now we are in a lawsuit against the Secretary of State, John Thurston. We have filed a complaint for a reduction in signature collection due to the COVID-19 epidemic that we're facing. Our case looks really good. I thank you all so much for helping us raise enough for the retainer. I got the best attorney for the job. Our attorney, he has won cases for independent candidates. He is the attorney who won the Libertarians ballot access this year. So we have a good, knowledgeable attorney who knows what he's doing. We should know by May 5th a little bit more what's going on because we'll be having a meeting with the Secretary of State before then. Let's see. What about making internet a public utility? I think that's a great idea. Every single American should have internet at their house. Every single one. And we've been seeing that this is really important, especially with our social distancing and home quarantines. We have students that are having a hard time doing their schoolwork because they don't have internet at home. There's no excuse for a single person not to have internet at their house. If we can afford to build a $169 million jail to house 500 people to a private company in LaSalle, we can afford to put internet at every single Arkansan's home. Let's see here. Hide and seek. Wolfpack.org. I'll have to check out wolfpack.org. I'll save it for later. I'll start my own protest if they don't put me on the ballot. Yeah, well, thank you, Heather. If they don't put us on the ballot, despite everything, all the support we have and what we've been doing, I'm pretty sure we're going to make a lot of public noise. Would that money have been from their parties? So it's not from parties, but it's from, when it says from the state of Arkansas, it means, so say the state legislator for District 1, their family members donated money to a candidate. It would go into that category there. That is so true. Only 4 of my students have been able to get online. And that's so sad, because then we have schools telling people, well, you need to put your student in the car and drive them to the library and sit in the library parking lot and use their Wi-Fi. But, I mean, it's just not even possible, because my daughter, she's doing school from home right now. If I had to go to the library, I have my own work to do. I mean, we have everything going on. There's just no way we could do something like that. That's so true. Only 4 of my students. Okay. I've only donated to 2 politicians in my entire life, and you're one of them. Oh, thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate everyone's support. The coolest thing about our campaign is it is 100% grassroots. I don't take money from political action committees. I don't take money from political parties, corporations, billionaires. All of our money has come from working class Americans. And I mean, that says something right there, especially the fact, I mean, you talk about a grassroots candidate running for especially a national position, like Bernie Sanders' grassroots campaign. It's very, very different than ours, because we're the 49th richest state in America. We're so poor that a lot of people can't afford to give money to a campaign and big campaign contributions. So when we can have such a strong, powerful grassroots movement in one of the poorest states in America, that really, goes to show people want change. We can see what's going on around us, and we're not okay with it. And we're going to do what it takes to make sure that we get that change so that we can be proud to raise our children here in our beautiful natural state. And, thank you so much. I couldn't do this without people like you all. And your library is closed. Hopefully they're keeping their Wi-Fi on. I know a lot of libraries have actually, especially when they're near schools, have put in Wi-Fi extenders so students can reach the internet from the parking lot. We'll have to try to have a debate with Cotton. Absolutely, I'm going to like that comment. I'm super excited. I have a lot of things to ask Tom Cotton. I have a lot of questions for him myself. I have a lot of questions that constituents have given me that they've asked him and they've never received a response. So I'm really excited to debate Tom Cotton. and it is going to happen one of these days. I'm not sure exactly when with the pandemic going on, but I would assume probably within the next 3 months I should be able to get him, unless he's a coward and he's too scared to do it. Let's see. Oh, hey, Luba. Thank you for joining. All right. So we're about 37 minutes in. Did anyone else have any other questions? I can do a very quick recap on what we talked about. So we have 6,000, I'm going to say 44 signatures on legal size sheets of paper. So we were able to get 60% on legal size paper. They told me at the Secretary of State's office they'll accept letter size, but a judge might not. So our total count with letter size is 6,514 signatures. Y'all are amazing, despite the pandemic. We are in an ongoing lawsuit right now against the Secretary of State, John Thurston. We are suing for ballot access and a reduction in the signature requirement due to COVID-19. Attorney General Leslie Rutledge says that we're just trying to take advantage of the pandemic, and that they have reasonable laws. And let's see, and she wants to defend and protect the integrity of the upcoming election. So she said that after taking money from Tom Cotton. Let's see here. But that's pretty much where we're at right now. I am going to be doing another trivia night on Wednesday night. The topic will be the universe. So we'll ask questions about the universe. I have a lot of really good questions, and hopefully we can blow each other's minds. And I want to do something a little bit different. as I'm asking y'all questions, if you think of any questions for the topic, I want y'all to ask me questions too. And then I'll read the comments as we go through and I'll ask questions and I can answer questions at the same time. I think that'd be really fun. I am going to be doing a Zoom coffee meeting here in the next couple days. Check my events on my page. I'll have a Zoom meeting going. Y'all can join in and you can ask me questions. We can just chat, whatever you guys want to talk about. You can join with video, without video, with audio, without audio, whatever y'all want. Just hop on in our Zoom meeting and get to know me a little bit better. But let's see, that's kind of where we're at right now. So I will be able to give more updates on the lawsuit here by May 5th. And hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday, we will be able to have this thing all finished and closed out. We might be able to avoid a court date. We might have to go to court. We'll see what happens. But if I don't have any more questions in here, then I'm going to go ahead and end it. We are making homemade chicken nuggets tonight. Should be awesome. Let's see. All right, so I don't see any other questions on here. And of course, as always, if you do have any other questions or you think of something, you can always just send me a message and I'll answer all my messages. But cool, so I'll go ahead and I'll call it. It's about 40 minutes, kind of short, but not a whole lot to update. I've repeated myself a lot now to try to keep everyone up to date. But my name is Dan Whitfield. I am the independent candidate running to replace Tom Cotton. I'm running for United States Senate here in Arkansas. Go to replacetomcotton.com to check out a little bit more about me, my policy. You can donate if you have some extra money. We are a 100% grassroots campaign. And thank you all so much for your support and everything. May God bless y'all and may God bless America.